welcome back to my channel. So I come to you today not with a reaction video, but this video is going to be about myself and the things that I've been going through in the past years, basically. Yeah, so for the past, I'll say 5 years or even more, I have been dealing with acne, and it's been flaring up. It would go down and flare up again. It's just a back and forth thing with me. That is why I'm coming before you today with a no makeup face, okay? Because I just want you to know and see how I look like on a normal day without makeup. Okay, so I recently went to my GP, which is something I do not all the time, but once in a while, just to go and have a checkup and see what they can do to help me. Because when I started having these flare-ups, I went to the GP frequently, yes, and then I was given like all the treatments that they could give. I would say all the treatment that they could give. I was started on antibiotics. I was given topical gels that contained antibiotics as well. I was even referred to a dermatologist who gave me something for my face as well. I think it was a topical, but it didn't really go well with me because I had reactions to it. I've even been on combined oral contraceptive pills just to make sure that my hormones are regulated well, so these, you know, stuff goes down. I was that for a very long time, and then I later decided not to take it anymore because I felt like I was on it for long and it could have a long-term effect on me, so I decided to drop that. So yeah, for the past 5 years it's been up and down, you know, the roller coaster. And trust me, if you've been through this before, you know how it has an effect on your emotions. As like sometimes you could feel down, you could feel, I wouldn't say depressed because depression is a very strong word to use, but yeah, sometimes you just don't feel like even going out, going to where people are because of how you look like, or because of how the acne has, or the damages the acne has done to your face. It got to a time that the flare-ups were so, like, it got so inflamed that it got so painful. I wasn't even able to talk and open my mouth wide like how I'm doing now. I wasn't even able to laugh, showing the whole, like, my whole teeth. Because anytime I tried to do something, it was just putting stress on that, and then it was so painful. So I used to talk like, yeah, like even if I would smile, I'd be like, because it was so painful. It was really painful. Like, I've gone through a lot with this. So in one of my videos, I think it was a get ready with me video, I don't really remember, but yeah, in one of my videos I said that I was going to see my GP because it had been a long time since I went to the GP about my acne. I decided to take things into my own hands, buy products. Trust me, if you come to my cupboard, or if you come to my room right now, you get almost every facial product on the market, because I've been doing trials and errors. I know people would say, why don't you go and see a dermatologist? Why don't you go and see this? I've tried almost everything. I've tried almost everything. And you know how the UK is with their wait time and all. Before you could even see a dermatologist, I don't know, it's just that long period that you have to wait. But I don't mind waiting. But my only problem is, are they going to help? I don't want to wait and then waste my time. When I get there, they'll be like, okay, go and try this. Go and try something that I've already tried before. Okay, I have a lot of products here that I've been using. I use it for a while and I realized that they are not even working. So let me just give my face the break, because this face has suffered. This face has experienced a lot of products that I'm even glad that I have a tough skin. I was even scared at some point that my skin was gonna rip off because of the products that I was using on it. But yeah, I have a tough skin, so thankfully I still have my face. Yeah, so I have a friend who also had acne, and he advised that I go back to see my dermatologist and ask them if they can give me tretinoid. I don't know if you know what that is, but that is like the most, I would say that is like on top of the list of treatment that you could use to battle acne. Yes, it's the odogu. Yeah, like it's the boss, I would say. And then because it's so harsh, it has like harsh effects and all that. Before you be able to get that, you'd have to see a specialist, and they have to run some tests on you and all that. I think I've tried it before in the past, but the kind of reactions it was having on my body, I didn't really like it, so I had to stop at some point. But I decided I wanted to try it again to see how it was gonna go this time. That was why I said that in that video that I made, I was going to see my GP, because you have to see the GP for them to see what's going on before they can refer you to a specialist. I went to see my GP. He looked at me. I also showed him some pictures I've been taking over the years and all that, and he was like, you know what, this is not acne, this is rosacea. And I was like, okay, what is rosacea? On top of that, I've also been having problems with my stomach. So I've been having problems with my digestion. I wouldn't say if it's digestion, but sometimes I feel bloated, I have heartburns. Because of that, I'm not able to like eat 3 times a day like how normal people do. I only eat twice a day, and in smaller portions. Why? Because if I eat in large quantity, I won't be able to take it. Number 2, I won't be able to digest it properly. Number 3, I will not be able to have my peace of mind, because I will be bloated. I'll be having heartburns. It's just a whole lot that happens when I decide to like eat. You know how people eat. Yeah. So this also has been going on for a while now, and especially when I decide to starve myself for a while, I get flare-ups as well. Not as in flare-ups on my face, but I wouldn't know how to describe it, but it's more of like a hypoglycemic reaction, or a hypoglycemia. I go into my hypoglycemic state, which is normal, yes, because I haven't eaten, which is normal. It could happen to anyone. But with my kind of symptoms, I get stomach pains, I sometimes black out. It's just bad reactions. I decided to go and see my GP about this as well, and they told me that I had to run some tests. So I did a stool test, and it came back positive for H. pylori infection. So for those who don't know what H. pylori is, H. pylori, the full name is Helicobacter pylori. It is a bacteria that is found in the stomach. So you basically get infected with it when you eat contaminated food or water. I don't know how I got it, but yeah, it's not it's more like when somebody says I have typhoid fever, or I have cholera, you know, like that kind of thing. Yeah, so it causes mostly stomach pain, nausea, bloating, loss of appetite, heartburns, indigestion, all those kind of stuff, and it's really uncomfortable. Okay, really uncomfortable. So yesterday I randomly decided to look into whether there was a link between H. pylori and rosacea. I don't know why that came in mind, but yeah, it was just a random thought, because I've been having reinfection. This is not my first time. I think this is like my 4th, but the last 2, not even the last, I think the 3rd and the 5th one, I wouldn't say, well, this is like my 4th time of having like adverse effects of the infection. The first 2, when I had them, I didn't really take them serious because I didn't know what was going on. So I didn't even go to see a doctor or anything. I went to see no, I think no, the last 3 I went to see a GP, but then I started the treatment for the 3rd one, and then I thought I was okay because the symptoms went down, nothing was going on again, and then I had a reinfection again. So this has also been going on for some time. So looking back, I'm trying to see if I'll remember when I had my first H. pylori infection flare-up, to see if I can link it to when I started having these breakouts, okay, to see if they have a link. I'm not too sure, but when I checked the internet, yes, there's been research that there's a kind of link between the two, and that is why I come to you today to talk about, or to explain what rosacea is, what H. pylori is, which I've already spoken about, and how I ended up here, right? And then also I will be documenting my journey, because I want to start treatment again for the H. pylori, to see how that's gonna affect my face, my flare-up of the rosacea or the acne. I just put it normal of the acne, so you'd get it, okay, to see if they actually have a link. I know people have done their research and stuff, but I want to use myself as a scapegoat. I want to use myself as the experiment to see if this is going to go down once I'm done treating the H. pylori infection. So if this works, well, it could be that it can work, or it could be a complete fail, but we are going to find out together, okay? If you're interested in skincare, gut health, or you're just curious to see what will happen with this journey that I'm about to take you to, make sure you subscribe, please. Just subscribe so you do not miss any updates. Right, so let's start. So I've already touched on what rosacea is. If you don't know what rosacea is, it looks kind of like acne, but it's more severe. So it's chronic inflammatory skin condition that occurs mostly on the face. So it occurs in the pattern that you can see on my face now, so mostly on the cheek, maybe on your jaw, kinda, and then on your forehead. Unlike acne, that can occur all over your face, on even your chest and your back. Mine is different. That's how I got to know that mine is not normal acne, right? And sometimes it stings or it burns, okay? It's really painful sometimes. As I said, this has even gone down. My face is clear today, but on some other days, you could see it being inflamed. It comes with pustules and papules. So those are like pus-filled stuff on my face that looks like acne, basically. And it mostly flares up due to stress. That's what I've noticed about myself. So mostly when I'm stressed, when maybe I'm ovulating, which is normal because your hormones are trying to, you know, and when I eat certain foods. So my mom keeps telling me to take notice of the kind of food that I eat that gives me the flares, and then stop eating those. Do you know the number of foods I've stopped eating because of my face? I don't take fresh milk, I don't eat nuts, I don't even sugar. No, like I've stopped eating a lot of things. But still, my mom is saying that there could be something that I'm eating that causes the flare-ups. So what she advised that I should do is that if I eat a certain food the previous week and then maybe this week I'm having flare-ups, I should try and remember what I ate last week that might have caused the flare-up, and stop eating it. Sometimes in my mind I'm like, okay, I think we'll get to a time that I'll just be drinking water, because I eat normal food. I don't know what I eat that causes this. It got to a time too that I wanted to go and take an allergy test because I thought it was an allergic reaction to something. Trust me, I try to do my best to make sure that nothing triggers this thing. I change my pillowcases and my beddings like once every week, okay? So I wouldn't say it's dirt. I wouldn't even put that to it. I wouldn't say it's that. These are some of the pictures I took whilst I was having like severe flare-ups. this was when I told you that I wasn't even able to laugh out loud or even able to open my mouth to talk well. This was the time, basically. And I was able to work. You know, it got to a time that everything was gone. Even I didn't have any pores or any bumps on my face. That was when I started taking the oral contraceptive pills. But I took it for a long time, to the extent that I felt like my body was used to it at some point, and then it wasn't even working anymore. So that was why I also stopped taking that. Going back to the H. pylori infection, I wouldn't say if the very first stuff that I had to know that it was H. pylori, I wouldn't say that I knew that it was it, okay? So what happened was, I was in the house with my flatmate. No, my flatmate wasn't around. I was alone. Yes, I was alone. And I had finished eating, and then all of a sudden I started feeling a bit uncomfortable. I got heartburn. I started feeling dizzy, lightheaded. I was shaking. I had to sit on the floor. And then I started having palpitations. So I was breathing so fast. So that's like hyperventilation and palpitations at the same time. And then all of a sudden I had a blackout. So I had to lie down for some time. When I got up, I wanted to throw up. I had to crawl because I wasn't able to stand. I was lightheaded. What if I stand and then I fall and hit my head? So I had to crawl to the bathroom to see if I'll be able to throw up. So I went to the bathroom. I wasn't even able to throw up. I just had to sit on the floor for some time. And I got better, and then I had to carry myself back to my room. Anytime I have this kind of symptoms, I know it's to do with my stomach. So please, let me know if you've had similar thing, okay? If you've had a similar thing, please go and check. Don't think it's stress and I'm tired, and no. Go and check, because just go and read about H. pylori infection. If you don't treat this in the long run, it's going to turn out to be something you wouldn't want. Okay, so please, if you're having similar symptoms, go and check. So the reason why I decided to check whether these two had a link was because I've had both conditions for years now, okay? And then they seem to have similar patterns of flaring up and calming down and all, you know, the roller coaster stuff. So I did a bit of research yesterday, and I actually found some studies that found that there was kind of link between them. So the link between the H. pylori, which is the bacteria in the stomach, which can trigger inflammation throughout the body. And it could be that's why my rosacea is getting worse. Because if this can trigger inflammation throughout the body, maybe that's why it's triggering inflammation on my face. And it's good to make your own research before like coming to a conclusion. Okay, so the idea is that H. pylori releases these toxins into your body that increases your stomach acid, right? Which causes like inflammation in the stomach, but not just in the stomach, but also in the skin. So some studies even found that people with rosacea were most likely to have H. pylori infection. Look at that. But here's the thing, yeah? It is not fully proven. It is not fully proven. Some people say that treating the H. pylori infection will help clear the rosacea. Others didn't find any difference. They didn't see any difference with the research that they did. So I'm not saying this is definitive. I'm just saying that I'm just going to test myself to see if it works on me. Because yes, if some people found a link between it and also found or made a conclusion that treating the infection could clear the rosacea, why don't I test this on myself? It's worth trying. So over the next month, I will be tracking my skin whilst I'm doing the treatment for the H. pylori infection. My past treatment for my acne, or now I've discovered it's rosacea. My past treatment for rosacea has been with a lot of products, and I know I came about these products from like people's recommendations, like what people have used for it to help clear theirs. and also from like social media, people's testimonies, people's reviews and all this stuff. I've got people telling me to try stuff because they know of other people that have used it and has really helped. So I've got a lot of products here that I want to show you. So I will start with like what I use to cleanse my face. So I use this. This is not what I've been using for a long time. I started this not long ago, and you can see it's even almost done. I've used other cleansers, but yeah, this is what I'm using at the moment. So La Roche-Posay, that's what I use at the moment to cleanse my face in the morning. In the evening, I use the Rice Water Bright. I think this was from the Face Shop, kinda. It's really good, especially when you want to cleanse your face from like makeup. Oh, I mentioned makeup and I have to touch on that. So I've also noticed that there are some products, there are some foundations, some makeup products that flares up my acne or rosacea whenever I use them. So I try to stay away from some type of makeup that I feel like I've used before and then they gave me bad reactions. I know you would say that, oh, your face, because of the kind of sensitive face you have, you don't have to be putting up makeup. Because of the kind of sensitive face you have, you don't have to be putting on makeup and stuff. Just leave it like that. I know, okay? I know, but sometimes it's just the way I feel when I go out. Because can you imagine, I went to work, I really remember, I went to work one time when I had a flare-up, and a man saw me and made a statement that I was like, what is wrong with this man? A kind of statement that actually brought my self-esteem down. I think he said something like, why have you let your face become like this kind of thing? Don't you have makeup? Can you imagine? Like, why would you say that to me? Just imagine you being a lady and someone telling you this. It's actually going to make your day bad, basically. So ever since then, that was even when I decided not to even put on makeup whenever I was going to work, because what's the point? Yeah. So this is how I go to class with my face like this. I don't put on makeup when I'm going to class. I only put on makeup for occasions or maybe for church, when I'm going to church. And then I make sure that immediately I come back from wherever I'm going to, I clean it, I wash it off, because I want my face to rest. So this is really good for cleansing. It's a deep cleanser. It's really good for cleansing your face from like makeup and stuff. And then when I'm done, I use this gentle cleanser just to make sure that I don't really have like those kind of reactions. Okay, so after cleansing, I sometimes use some serums, but I don't really have serums. I don't think I have some. I don't really have lots of serums now, but I have this, the Ordinary Niacinamide. This is what I use after cleansing in the morning. I use the serum. Please let me know if I'm not doing these right. Maybe it's just the way I combine the product on my face too. So if you have any experience or if you have any positive results from using these kind of products, please let me know in the comment section how you use them, so I would know how I'll be using mine as well. And sometimes when I have really bad flare-ups and my face is really itchy or it's really sore, I go on to use rose water that suits my face, and it's really good. I remember my mom used to buy rose water and put is it cloves? Yeah, put cloves in it to stand for some time, and it really worked to clear her face as well. And I've been doing it, so I always have rose water with me. So when I'm done suiting my face, sometimes when I want to do like deep treatments, especially to clear the black spots and the pores on my face, I use Paula's Choice, which is like an exfoliator. I don't know if I've spoken about this before, but it's a really harsh product, so I don't use it every day. I use it like once a week, kinda, yeah, like once a week, because it is like a really deep exfoliator. It peels, like it's a peeling agent basically, and it's really good. Sometimes too, if I don't want to use the harsh powerless choice, I use the ordinary glycolic acid. It's also an exfoliant or exfoliator, and it's also more like a peeling agent, kinda, and it's even finished. I'm done with it. I follow up the serum with a moisturizer. So at the moment, this is the moisturizer that I use. So this is the Neutrogena Hydro Boost Water Gel or Aqua Gel. It's really, I like the way it feels on my skin. Okay, it's really, and it smells good as well. So this is what I use now for my face to moisturize. Sometimes too, I use this one, so the Course Advanced Nail, the all-in-one cream, which is slimy, and if I like the way it also feels on my face. Yeah, sometimes too, I use this for moisturizing my face. I follow up my moisturizer with an SPF, so sunscreen. Really essential component, really essential components. I feel every day, it doesn't matter if the sun is gonna be out or if it's gonna be a rainy day or a cloudy day, I put this on all the time. It is the last product I put on after like putting everything on. So my sunscreen, this is what I use at the moment. I don't know if it's clear. So during the evening, after cleansing my face and everything, I go ahead to put on treatment. Okay, so sometimes I put on benzoyl peroxide. I do this when I have major flares, like severe flares when they are coming out. So this is like a main treatment for me, benzoyl peroxide. And sometimes too, I put on azelaic acid, which was prescribed, so you can see like it's prescribed. You can see my details on there. Was prescribed to me by my GP. That was when I went to see him, and then he said it was rosacea. So this and doxycycline were the two treatments he told me to start. Sometimes too, I use this one. So this also from La Roche-Posay, Ifacled Dio, whatever. Sometimes I use it as when I don't want to put harsh product on my face. This is what I put on my face. Sometimes I put the blemish, the blemish control from CeraVe. Sometimes I use this. And then I follow everything up with a facial moisturizer for the evening. This is what I use. Okay, so facial moisturizing lotion from CeraVe for the evening. That's what I use for my evening moisturizing. I used to have a vitamin C serum that I used as well, but it got finished. But I recently came across this one that I'm gonna try. I haven't even started using it. I bought it recently because I saw reviews of it, so I'm gonna try and see if it works. I don't know. But you know, it gets to a point that I feel like I've been using all these products and I still get flare-ups. So that's when I knew that it's systemic rather than it being like topical. Because if I keep using these stuff, yeah, and I don't treat the thing from within, I'll be wasting my money. I'll be putting harsh stuff on my face as well. So that is why I've decided to see if treating whatever that is within me would have an impact on whatever that is showing on the outside. So let me know if I'm actually doing the right job. Just to let you know, I don't put all these stuff on my face at once. So when I put the first stuff, I wait for it to sink in. So I wait for like 20 to 30 minutes for it to sink in for it to be absorbed before I put the other stuff. One major thing that I forgot to show. So this is also from La Roche Rosacea, and it's like a soothing cream. I put it on after I use the Paula's Choice exfoliant because it's really harsh. So like when I use this in the night, or let's say in the morning, when I cleanse again, this is what I put on. Because after this, after Paula's Choice, I don't want to put any other harsh stuff on my face. That's gonna be too much. So this is what I put on my face to soothe it. Yeah, so that is that. I've taken you through my treatment for the rosacea. With the treatment for the H. pylori infection, I think the first treatment that I was put on was the triple action, which is like the first line treatment here in the UK. I don't know where you're watching from, but your country might have like different guidelines pertaining to the treatment of stuff. Here in the UK, we use what we term as the triple therapy, which is a combination of antibiotics and a PPI. So a PPI is a proton pump inhibitor. So with antibiotics, I think the first treatment had amoxicillin, metronidazole, and the PPI, which was omeprazole. So I used that. I think I took the antibiotics for a whole week, and I took the omeprazole for a month, but I don't think I actually continued religiously for a month. I don't know if that was what has caused the reinfection, but we are going to try amoxicillin, and instead of metronidazole, we are replacing it with clarithromycin because it's just, they alternate, and omeprazole. So I'm gonna take the antibiotics, which is amoxicillin and the clarithromycin, for a whole week, and then continue the omeprazole. I'll be taking the omeprazole with the antibiotic as well, and then continue the omeprazole for another whole month, and then go back to test again to see if the infection has been cleared. Whilst I'm gonna do it, what I plan to do is I'm not going to be using these like harsh products. Okay, the only thing I plan on using is my cleanser, probably maybe the gentle cleanser, which is not too harsh on my face, and my moisturizer, because obviously, yeah, we have to moisturize, and also my SPF. Those are the three that I plan on using throughout like my treatment for the H. pylori infection, because as I said, I'm gonna use myself as the test, as the experiment. So these three I cannot do without, so I'm gonna use these three and see how the treatment of the H. pylori infection is gonna have an impact on my face. So I plan on coming to you every week with like a kind of weekly progress update, just to let you know how it's going. If I don't make them into full videos, I'm probably gonna make them into shorts, so at least you will see how the treatment is going. So please, if you haven't subscribed yet, I'm still gonna ask you to do, and also hit the notification bell so you know that I've posted an update of what we are talking about now. Just to let you know, this is not a medical advice. I'm not saying that if you're experiencing acne, like severe acne or rosacea, and you're also experiencing like the kind of symptoms I explained for the H. pylori, you should go and do what I'm also doing. Your symptoms might be different, and it could be something else and not even like H. pylori infection. So please, whatever that you are experiencing, make sure that you go and get a diagnosis for it, so you know how you're going about with it. I know some people don't like diagnosis because they feel like when they know what is going on with them, it's kind of attached to them, or it's who they are. It's not, okay? It's not. Just make sure you get a diagnosis so you know how to treat it. This brings us to the end of today's video. Thank you so much for staying through to the end with me and my yapping. And if you are curious about whether rosacea and H. pylori infection do have a connection, make sure to keep staying with me to know if this is actually true. I'm gonna use myself as a scapegoat. Yes, just make sure to stay with me through the journey and subscribe. If you like this video, don't forget to give me a thumbs up with the like button there, and let's see how this works.